Perfectionism. On the surface, it might seem like a virtue, the drive to get things right, the desire to excel, the push to achieve excellence. But perfectionism is a double-edged sword. While it can motivate, it often traps people in cycles of fear, procrastination, and self-criticism. It holds potential hostage. The very qualities you think make you succeed, high standards, attention to detail, and ambition, can become barriers to growth, creativity, and fulfillment. To unlock your true potential, you must understand perfectionism, recognize its patterns, and learn to let it go. The first step is awareness. Perfectionism often masquerades as ambition or responsibility, making it hard to spot. Ask yourself, do you procrastinate because you fear your work won't be perfect? Do you hesitate to start projects because the end result might fall short of your ideal? Do you criticize yourself harshly over small mistakes? These are signs that perfectionism is controlling you. Awareness isn't about judgment. It's about recognizing the patterns that limit your growth. When you see perfectionism for what it is, you can begin to take deliberate steps toward freedom. Next, shift your focus from outcome to process. Perfectionists are often obsessed with the final product, an immaculate report, flawless performance, or perfect presentation. This obsession can paralyze action. Instead, start valuing the journey itself. Focus on learning, improving, and experimenting. When the emphasis is on progress rather than perfection, mistakes become feedback, and effort becomes the reward. The more you embrace process over outcome, the more freedom you create for creativity, growth, and innovation. Potential is unlocked not when everything is perfect, but when you allow yourself to try, fail, and learn. Another powerful strategy is embracing imperfection consciously. Recognize that mistakes are inevitable and that they often carry the greatest lessons. Every successful person has faced failures, missteps, and flawed beginnings. Imperfections are not evidence of inadequacy. They are stepping stones to mastery. Start small. Allow minor errors, share incomplete work, or experiment with something you're uncertain about. Each time you accept imperfection, you weaken perfectionism's grip and build resilience, courage, and confidence. Perfectionism thrives on fear of judgment, failure, or inadequacy. To counter this, reframe mistakes as learning opportunities. Shift your internal dialogue from, "I must get this right," to, "I am learning and improving." Fear diminishes when you normalize errors as part of growth. The more you accept mistakes as natural, the more willing you become to take risks, innovate, and push boundaries. True potential is realized not by avoiding failure, but by navigating it effectively. Setting realistic standards is also key. Perfectionists often aim for unattainable ideals, which leads to frustration and self-criticism. Instead, define standards that are challenging but achievable. Ask yourself, what is good enough for this moment? What level of quality fulfills the objective without creating unnecessary stress? Learning to distinguish between high standards and impossible expectations frees your mind and energy for meaningful action. Progress, not perfection, becomes the measure of success. Prioritize action over evaluation. Perfectionists spend excessive time analyzing, tweaking, and second-guessing. This prevents momentum. The antidote is to take deliberate action, even if the work isn't flawless. Action generates feedback, which fuels improvement and learning. Every step forward, no matter how imperfect, builds competence and confidence. Momentum is a powerful force that perfectionism cannot withstand. Once you start moving, the fear of imperfection loses its power. Self-compassion is crucial in overcoming perfectionism. Perfectionists often engage in harsh self-criticism, which undermines motivation and potential. Treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend facing challenges. Recognize your efforts, celebrate progress, and accept that you are human. Self-compassion doesn't lower standards. It provides a supportive environment for growth, allowing you to take risks and pursue potential without fear of relentless judgment. Mindset shifts are at the heart of this process. Cultivate a growth mindset, the belief that skills, intelligence, and abilities can be developed through effort and learning. Perfectionism is often rooted in a fixed mindset, the idea that mistakes expose inadequacy. By adopting a growth perspective, you see challenges and failures as opportunities rather than threats. Each imperfection becomes a lesson, each setback a chance to improve, and each attempt a step closer to unlocking your potential. Boundaries are another essential tool. Perfectionists often overcommit, believing that everything must meet their high standards. Learning to say no, delegate, or accept alternative approaches reduces pressure and frees mental space. Boundaries help prioritize what truly matters, focusing energy on tasks and goals that align with your growth rather than fueling endless cycles of perfectionist stress. Potential flourishes when attention is concentrated on meaningful action rather than unattainable ideals. Visualization can also help. Imagine yourself completing a task with confidence, even if it isn't perfect. Visualize taking action, making mistakes, learning, and improving. This mental rehearsal prepares your brain to embrace imperfection in real life, reducing anxiety and building confidence. The more you see yourself navigating tasks without obsessing over flawlessness, the more naturally you act with courage and effectiveness. Accountability supports progress. Share your goals and challenges with a mentor, coach, or trusted friend. Perfectionism thrives in isolation, feeding on secrecy and self-doubt. By opening up, you gain perspective, encouragement, and realistic feedback. Accountability also creates motivation to act, even if the work isn't perfect, reinforcing the idea that effort and progress matter more than flawless outcomes. Time management strategies can counter perfectionist tendencies. Break tasks into manageable steps with clear deadlines. Perfectionists often get stuck endlessly refining without completing. Structured timelines encourage action and reduce the temptation to obsess over details. Completing steps, even imperfectly, builds momentum and demonstrates that progress outweighs unattainable perfection. Gratitude plays a subtle but important role. Recognize the progress you've made, the skills you've developed, and the opportunities you've taken. Gratitude shifts focus from flaws to achievements, reducing the self-critical tendencies of perfectionism. Each acknowledgement of progress reinforces confidence, motivation, and willingness to continue pursuing growth. Potential thrives in an environment of recognition rather than relentless criticism. Learn to embrace experimentation. Innovation rarely emerges from flawless execution. It arises from trying, failing, iterating, and refining. Perfectionism inhibits experimentation because mistakes are feared. By framing projects as experiments where outcomes are less important than learning, you create freedom to explore, innovate, and discover new possibilities. The more you experiment, the more opportunities arise to unlock untapped potential. Self-reflection solidifies growth. After completing tasks or projects, reflect on what went well, what could improve, and what you learned. Avoid judgmental thinking. Focus on insight and growth. Reflection transforms imperfection into knowledge, reinforcing the idea that mistakes are valuable lessons rather than failures. Each reflection session strengthens skills, resilience, and self-belief. Finally, practice patience. Letting go of perfectionism is not an instant transformation. It requires awareness, mindset shifts, consistent action, and self-compassion. Celebrate small victories along the way and recognize that progress is a journey. Every step away from the need to be perfect opens space for creativity, growth, and the realization of your potential. Perfectionism is not a strength, it's a barrier. To unlock your potential, you must become aware of its patterns, shift your focus to progress over outcomes, embrace imperfection, and cultivate self-compassion. Take deliberate action, set realistic standards, prioritize growth, and view mistakes as lessons. By letting go of the obsession with flawlessness, you free your mind, energy, and creativity to explore, experiment, and achieve more than you imagined possible. Start today. Take a small action you've been avoiding out of fear of imperfection. Accept that it may be flawed, learn from the experience, and move forward. Repeat this practice consistently, and over time, perfectionism loses its grip. Your potential, once constrained by fear, expands beyond limitations. The journey from perfectionism to progress is the path to self-discovery, mastery, and fulfillment. Remember, growth comes not from flawless execution, but from courageous action, learning, and resilience. Let go of perfectionism, embrace progress, and watch as your true potential unfolds, step by step, mistake by mistake, and victory by victory.